Here we are, you two. This is the Aether Paradise. I don't think at the point where I played this in the first go-round that I'd yet played Fallout 4, but now that I have, I'm getting very strong, like, the Institute vibes from this. Anyway, yeah, Pokemon Conservation. It has been outfitted with all the latest technology for this purpose. Downstairs, our teams work on developing new Pokeballs and more. Yes, all for the sake of Pokeball conservation. All for the sake of Pokemon conservation. Though you will not be able to use any of your Pokeballs within the Aether Paradise, a jamming signal is broadcast throughout the facility to prevent them from functioning. Yeah, this is why I kind of regret. Yeah, I kind of do wish that I'd ended the video, like, before I talked to this guy, because this is going on for a bit. Excuse me, Mr. Fava Beans. Yes, excuse you. What is the meaning of that form of address? I have a title for a reason. How else will you know how important I am? Branch Chief Fava Beans. Now I must go and speak with the President about our conservation efforts on Ula'ula. Show these children around and take them to meet the President as well. Can that wait? Welcome to Aether Paradise, Drago and How. My name is Wiki. Ula'ula. You see, if they'd spelled it a little differently, it would have been a Hawaiian word. I believe meaning quick. But unfortunately, they did not spell it W-I-K-I. One of our employees told me about your meeting on Ula'ula Island, and of course I heard how you helped protect the Pokemon there too, young Mr. Howe. Thank you very much. Let me show you around. The main entrance is above us. This is the main entrance. You can have your Pokemon taken out at the reception desk if they need it. Drago, you and Hao are both trial goers, aren't you? Are you hoping to become champions? I suppose you must be around 11 then. How did you know? Yeah, I took the first chance I had to join the Island Challenge once I turned 11, because someday I really want to be able to beat my Gramps, but he's way too strong. So for now, I'll just enjoy my Island Challenge. How lovely for you. I suppose all children must yearn to take a great journey of their own choosing when they get to be about your age. Though you're hardly children anymore. Trainers are like parents to their Pokemon. Would you two like to see the conservation area upstairs? Here's the button. Just push it. This is a really long cutscene. Nice area, though. We keep Pokemon that have been targeted by Team Skull here. So, like, all of them. And we also try to support Pokemon that need a little extra protection. Like Corsola, for example. They are quite terribly overhunted by a Pokemon called Anyway, I hope you don't mind if I read a passage from my old Pokedex. I traveled through Kanto before when I was younger, you see. Corsola in Ula'ula, where their natural enemies are plentiful. Many Corsola have stubby branches on their heads. That makes it a little bit harder to get eaten. Yeah, my Gramps is always saying that nature's got its cruel sides, such as it gives us blessings. But can the Aether Foundation really protect all Pokemon that are out there? Nature does have its own balance, of course. It can be difficult to judge just how much we humans should try to affect that, can't it? That's pretty amazing. The Aether Foundation seems awesome. But why'd you bother setting up a branch in a place like Ula'ula? I couldn't say. It's hard to know for sure what our president is thinking sometimes. If you'd like to meet President Lusamine, she should be here in the conservation area now. Alright, that was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Alright, apparently I got healed automatically at some point. in that sequence, and I don't really remember where, but we are now here in the Aether Foundation. This is sort of like the midpoint of the story, if I recall. This is where things really get kicked into gear. I guess you could call it the beginning of Act 2, or really probably like the... I don't know exactly how I would break this up, because I do remember that Pokemon Sun and Moon were a little bit on the long side, and I assume that these, even if it's not going to follow the same story, the story structure of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are going to be similar. But you're going to tell me about regional variants, and you're going to ponder why such things might exist. Yeah, I don't know exactly like where we are like percentage-wise throughout the story. This is like a really nice looking area, and I wish that I could interact with it more. I don't see a camera icon popping up on the Pokédex screen down there, so I don't think we're even going to be able to play like Pokemon Snap or anything, even if we can't, let alone catch stuff. But Lusamine's going to be making things weird, and let's see. We're gonna have to wander over here and. What do you remind me of? Like, obviously, besides Lusamine. But, like, from some other game. I almost want to say, like... You remind me of something from, like, Nier or something like that. Anyway, I'm so glad there are people like you who travel the islands to learn more about Pokemon. But there are also those unfortunate people who harm Pokemon for their own selfish reasons, or even for profit. And that is why I'm here. I wish to be a mother to all those poor Pokemon and shower them with my love. Even Pokemon from distant worlds far from the Ula'ula region are worthy of my love. It's crazy how someone who, on the surface, directly says things that make you think like you should like them, still manages to come off kind of creepy like this. And, like, I know more or less what the story in original Sun and Moon went down, at least as far as like Lusamine and other characters who we've met, at least as far as that goes. But I still feel like I'm waiting for there to be like a twist on that, honestly. Foreshadowing. Tremor, did something happen on the lower floors? Alright, who is playing with time and space again? Dialga, Palkia? You are. You come from a distant world. Miss Lusamine, stand back, that thing's not right. I don't remember exactly what I thought of it the first time around. But when I looked at this Ultra Beast thing just now, the first thing that came to mind was like, that thing looks like it would like fit perfectly on her head as like a hat. I don't know what is wrong with me. All right, so if I come over here, we're gonna see the like space jellyfish thing, and it's gonna yell at us, and we're gonna go and fight the space jellyfish thing. Let's see. This is, what are you called? You're just called question mark, question mark, question mark. Alright. But its aura is going to flare to life, and its defense is going to go up sharply. This... I don't remember what type you are. You're making me, like, imagine, like, a super buffed Tentacruel or something like that. Should I try and inflict a... I don't think I've ever gotten away with inflicting a burn on you with Fire Fang, so maybe I won't bother doing that. If I could paralyze you. With Strewn over here. That might help. Alright. Let's go, and you're going to use Venoshock. Definitely, probably Poison. Alright, so that's going to be about half there. You're only level 27. Honestly, I was expecting a higher level. It's not going to work. I was expecting a higher level. Oh, Beast Boost. That's right. That's like the Moxie ability, but I think it works for both attack stats. Yeah, see, I don't have that much type coverage. I don't think I can use Dragon Tail and force the fight to end. I don't have anyone yet who resists poison. Alright, you're gonna be faster. Everything is faster than Foost. That doesn't count. Oh, that was a critical hit. That didn't help. And you're gonna get the Beast Boost again. So you're at 2x. Oh, that's your special defense. Was it special defense the first time? I thought it was special attack the first time. This could be a problem. I have a weird feeling that I'm not gonna make a lot of headway on this thing. Let's go use Inferno Overdrive. Alright, if I'm able to take that, which I was apparently, this is going to hopefully hit through some of that defense. I don't think it's gonna 1-hit KO you. Wow. Oh, it's not very effective. Are you poison water? Are you exactly a Tentacool then? I think that's my best guess. Let's try Bite. Boring old Bite. That did about as much damage. Alright, it fled. That kind of is the same thing as winning. And it's just gonna kind of flicker out of existence. The fact that it just runs away somehow makes it even more unnerving. Alright, so you're gonna go and develop a new obsession over this thing. Why are you so shocked? Was it your first time seeing an Ultra Beast? Those mysterious creatures that live beyond the Ultra Wormholes, the holes that suddenly open in the sky and lead us to the Ultra Space. It would serve you well to remember this. What's with the getup? Those are my guests, the Ultra Recon Squad. Alright, so Aether Foundation and these two robot guy people things are connected, so it's not like a separate storyline. It's they're kind of working together here. They've been giving the Foundation advice about the Ultra Beasts. I don't think they were named Ultra Beasts until later in the story in the originals, but as usual, I can't remember. Introduce yourselves. So we meet again, trial goer. The Ultra Recon Squad is, well, as the name suggests, it's a group that investigates Ultra Wormholes and Ultra Beasts. This is Captain FICO, and I'm Solera. Alright. Pick one of the questions. We'll ask them all by the end of the game, I'm sure. We have also come to the Ula'ula region from another world via an Ultra Wormhole. So, a world of darkness without light. Interesting. That creature is known as Necrozma. It is able to bestow light upon others, but now it runs wild beyond reason, and we call it the Blinding One out of respect, but I fear the day may come when Ula'ula loses its light to Necrozma. Kinda got some sword and shield overtones here, do we? But everything will be fine if this Necrozma, or even an Ultra Beast like the one we just saw, should come to this world from another. The Aether Foundation will be prepared to protect the light of Ula'ula. Rest easy. You will not need to worry about a thing. So if there's one thing that you could have said to make people worry more, it's probably that. Wiki! These two are still in the middle of their island challenge, aren't they? Please deliver them to the next island. Alright. I'll go and check that none of our poor resident Pokemon came to any harm, and I need to speak to Mr. Fava Bean about exactly what happened downstairs. It may be that our experiments to open an Ultra Wormhole are not going as well as we'd hoped. Is that something you really want to say in front of Hal and me? Alright, so we're heading on to the next island, and, let's see. Wasn't really a lot of exploring to be done in here. No items on the ground. Obviously no catching Pokemon, no, not really that many NPCs to talk to or anything like that. I never thought I'd actually get to see the Ultra Wormhole in my life. Never mind meeting people from another world. Man, the surprises just never stop coming. We've got to tell our Professor Burnett about this the next time we see her. Alright, yeah, surprises. That's what scientific progress is built on. And you're gonna give me pastries. Oh, TM for Psychic. Is there anyone on my team who can learn that now? I don't think so. There will be later. But I don't think anyone on my team can learn that now. We'll get to that in due time. Anyway, it's time to set sail. My heart's still kind of racing, you know? The Ultra Wormhole is real, and the Ultra Beasts are real, too. And now this Ultra Recon squad, too. The world is really just too big. I bet we'll discover even more new things on the next island, too. Yeah, just shout about the Ultra Beast in the middle of a ferry, why don't you? Just tell everyone. We're gonna need all the energy. We're gonna need all the energy we can get. And he's. Can you eat a little neater? You're getting it all over me. So good. Shoot, I already ate the whole thing. So that is our, like, second and a half island. We are now heading over to, I think that's the biggest one, Ula'ula Island. Alright. We'll see what awaits us here. The professor said to wait for us in the gardens. Oh, if the last sound wasn't Japanese, this one definitely is. Loving the music already. Alright. Terra firma underfoot again. Ula'ula Island is, like, another totally different place than Melee Melee or Akala, huh? We're supposed to meet up with the professor, right? Where was it? Melee Garden? Why do you want us to go to a garden? Guess we'll find out when we get there, right? Okay, so the game is kind of messing with my perception of time because there's been a lot of cutscene and there hasn't been a lot of convenient time to, like, stop. Here's a sticker. Let me see. He went in that direction. Is this the dock? I'll explore a little bit. This is, I think, the biggest city in the game, so I'm not gonna get through all of it here, but I will just stop and smell the Corsola, and maybe go and I'll get as far as the Pokemon Center before ending it off, I think. Let's see. I think in my original Let's Play at some point, I just kind of gave up trying to track video progress. That's a nugget. And I just sort of cut it off wherever about 20-25 minutes had passed or so. I don't really want to do that this time. There have been a couple of times with awkward cuts like that without a beginning or ending. Because there wasn't really a convenient place to end it off and I just had to cut it somewhere. But I try to avoid that for the most part. There are two great peaks over Ula'ula Island. Alright, Hawaiian names aren't that hard because, like, every consonant is followed immediately by a syllable and things are usually pronounced exactly how they look. Hokulani and Mount Lanakila. I assume that second one is a reference to Laniakela. I don't know about the first one. Snow falls at the peak of Lanakila, even in the height of summer. Let's see, if Laniakela sounds familiar, in real life there is a massive telescope up there, and I think there is in this game as well, actually. You wear out your poor Pokemon if you made them go that far. Alright, so no swimming, you said, from island to island? It is a little bit far, I guess. Anyone else? Alright, you're gonna tell me about Totem Pokemon. Alright. Speaking of Totem Pokemon, I was automatically healed after that. I will take that. Let's see. we're gonna get out of here, and I think I'll just run down to the Pokemon Center and end it off. I have been recording for a very long time today. I've been going on for more than 6 hours, because this is one of the rare days when I can just sit down and do that. Plot is right there. I'm not gonna go that far. And my voice is getting a little tired, as you may or may not be able to hear. You got a shiny Pokemon through Wonder Trade. And... what? Okay, we've got company this time, I guess. Why is your hair in, like, the shape of a door knocker? Yeah. Well, that's different. Once I duck back around my counter, I will be all business again. You'll see. Alright. Sir? Alright, so, anything else? Lemonade, Moo Moo Milk, Rose Red Tea. Have I had the Rose Red Tea yet? I don't remember. I don't think so. I got 70,000 Pokédollars. A lot of that was for the errands that I was running for people and not so much battling the Ditto quest a little while ago and whatever. Alright, so, you'll miss out on the fullness of its aroma. Alright, do like some tea. Would be a bad idea right about now. It's, getting kinda cold. And, having some hot beverage would be kinda nice right about now. Alright. So, can I get out of here? There we go. There's not too many people in here today. It's usually some more people in the Pokemon Center. I like, by the way, and I don't think I brought this up before, but every Pokemon Center and every Pokemon game is a little bit different. I do like how in this one, we've got not only the Pokemart, which has been conjoined to Pokemon Center since pretty much Gen 5, but also, like, stuff for humans on this side, too. I can't read that newsstand, apparently. Did they do that in Sword and Shield? I think they did that in Sword and Shield. I can't remember offhand. And I could actually buy all these. I have enough money to buy all these. We're gonna do that. Alright, there's also the TM department in, Koni Koni, where we just came from. And, at some point I'll go back there and buy out all those as well. I feel like Shadow Claw is probably the only one that's really gonna be useful here. Maybe Facade. I don't really have anyone who I'm planning on using, like, status-related strategies with. But let me go into the TM's pocket. U-turn. Oh, Pico can learn U-turn. Let's learn U-turn. I like that. We're gonna go let's get rid of Double Kick. That, if I learn another fighting type move, I consider bringing that in over U-turn, but Double Kick really hasn't been doing very much for me lately. Psych Up, useless. Rock Polish, nobody. Shadow Claw. Alright, this sounds like a good one for... I'm not gonna overwrite Bite on Pico, even though Shadow Claw is slightly stronger. Because Bite will be getting stabbed once I get my secondary type when I evolve. Foos, on the other hand, Shadow Claw. Is it time to get rid of Protect? I've used it a couple of times, but I feel like having an extra attack move would be pretty useful here. Wait, hang on. I didn't finish going through that. Facade is a universal. Psychic, no. Attract, no. Leech Life. Leech Life got a buff in this game. That's right. Wow. Okay. That's a lot. How about anyone else? Would I rather have Leech Life than U-turn? I might... No, U-turn is pretty useful for me in this game because I am playing on set, and I don't get free switches, and being able to attack and switch at the same time would be handy. Attract is another universal, or almost universal anyway. And I think we've seen the rest of those now, so I'm not going to go into them. Alright. Well, that was fairly useful. Even if I'm not planning on using all the TMs, it is kind of fun to collect them. I think I'm going to end this off here, however, so next time We're going to be going down that way. We're going to be seeing what Hal wants, what the professor wants in the garden. And we'll probably spend most of the rest of it in town here because, as I said, this is a pretty big town. You should all go check out Wizarducks and the Lost Hat, which is one of the games that I like to work on when I'm not doing YouTube stuff. Link to the Steam page can be found down below. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later.